Welcome to the Omnic Recap. I am D, and every Sunday we look back at what happened during the past week in Overwatch. Last Thursday, the Overwatch team gave us an insight on what they've been working on for Overwatch 2 PvP. During the 2.5-hour stream, Blizzard shared a lot more details on what they talked about at BlizzCon 9 back in February. They also dropped a few other updates. The biggest update definitely was that teams in Overwatch 2 PvP will consist of 2 supports, 2 DPS, and just 1 tank. This is something they hinted at back at BlizzCon 9, but it seems that the 5-man teams are happening. On top of that, tanks will feel really differently in Overwatch 2, since they're approaching them more as brawlers. This is the biggest change to date for Overwatch, and it forces the team to rework a lot of stuff. First, of course, the tanks. Blizzard showed off and discussed some of the changes that they're thinking about, like more armor, more health, better mobility, and even some new abilities. Winston, for instance, is getting a ranged attack where he shoots off a focus beam of electricity. That monkey is learning some new tricks. Sorry, scientist. That's scientist. But all this does not only impact the tanks, all of the other heroes, the maps, the matchmaking system, the whole shebang. They're all being retuned around this new team composition. This whole thing is a game changer. Now, the community is rather divided over all this. Ranging from top 500 players to bronze players, people either hate it or love it. The biggest argument against the 5-man groups is that a lot of pressure will be put on that single tank, and that losing the synergy between a main tank and an off tank is a step back for the game, which is a valid concern. But I personally think that we overestimate the importance of that synergy and the off tank in general. Let me rephrase that. An off tank can be critical, and that synergy definitely adds something unique to the mix. But let's be honest, on anything below Diamond or even Master, things usually do not work out like that. If you're lucky and you're playing with a stack of friends, things might be better. But overall, you'll see that it is the main tank that is creating the room, the space for his team, and that the other guy is just running around, acting like they're an oversized tracer, and keep spamming voice lines. And those single tanks are getting something back for all that responsibility. Like I said before, these will not be the tanks that we know today. They'll be brawlers. They can create that room and capitalize on it themselves easier, thanks to all those new abilities. And sure, they'll get focused harder. But on the other hand, the healers will have one less person to take care of, which will directly benefit the tank. Look, when Rogue Queue was not a thing, I would personally end up in groups where 3 DPS would just insta-lock. And then I would have to make the choice. Am I going to add an extra tank or an extra support? And usually I would go for support. To be honest, that's what everybody did in that situation. And it worked. It's actually kind of funny if you think about it. The community that was up in arms because of the roll-lock is now up in arms because of the solo tanks. Anyways, my take is pretty simple. We need to try it before we can love or hate it. One thing I can guarantee you is that the Overwatch team did not make this decision overnight. This is a huge investment. Literally, they need to rework everything. But it seems they felt that it was worth it and it would make the game better. So while I'm keeping my final judgment till I get to test it, I am rather optimistic. And no, Jeff did not leave the company because of this decision. He left Blizzard because of the May change. But more on that in a second. About us trying this. I've seen people saying, well, they could put it in an experimental card. But without all those other balancing changes that they have been talking about, it's not the same thing. It would be difficult. Still, who knows? Somewhere in a few months, we might see a PTR popping up. Or we'll have to wait till the beta, which I hope won't take that long, but it probably will. So, about that May change. As I said, Blizzard showed off some of the changes they are doing to heroes, and we already talked about the Winston change. But they also shared that Mei will no longer be able to fully freeze enemies with her blaster, but she'll most likely still be able to slow you down enough to shoot you in the face and walk away giggling. Little demon. The team also shared that role passives are happening. They talked about that at BlizzCon 9. So healers will get a passive self-heal, DPS will move faster, and tanks will be sturdier and give enemies less ult charge. Another interesting topic was crowd control. Blizzard agrees with a bigger part of the community that crowd control is out of control, and they're actively researching how they can fix this. One of the ideas they mentioned was removing these abilities, for some characters at least, like McCree's flashbang. Other abilities like Anna's sleep are currently not being targeted. Well, I think we can all agree that a nap is really important. But yeah, a lot of reworks. They also showed off the new TORBJORN model. Our favorite engineer looks better than ever. Look at them. Right. Can we see this model in the surf and splash skin? Please? Blizzard? Anyone? Beside this, Blizzard showed off some gameplay for maps that they previously announced or teased. So we got a better look at Toronto, New York, Rio, Rome, and Monte Carlo. And all of them looked amazing. This new version of the engine allows the designers and the artists to take these maps to the next level. A lot more detail, the day and night cycles, the weather effects. It's just gorgeous. I can't wait to try these maps myself. Again. 2 of these maps, that was Toronto and Rome, were actually push maps. Push is the new mode that we got to see when they actually announced Overwatch 2. 2 teams need to take control and keep control over a huge robot that pushes a barrier towards your endpoint. The team that gets the barrier pushed back the furthest wins. It is an interesting and definitely fun mode. And Blizzard teased that they're actually working on more game modes. One of those is going to replace the 2CP map we have in game today. By the way, talking about maps, according to some people, Blizzard was actually teasing a new hero on that map, on Rome in particular. See, there was this poster. It shows 2 gladiator robots fighting each other and they seem to be controlled by humans, which would make for a unique hero style unless Effie has been hiding in Orissa this whole time. On top of that, we got that gladiator skin for Doomfist. Coincidence? Yeah, most likely, yeah. It's fun to think about, but I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Oh yeah, and on the New York map, you could go for a lunch at Jeff's Pizza. Clearly a tribute to Jeff Kaplan. For those who missed it, someone on the on-campus Starbucks misspelled his name, Jeff, in this way a few years ago. It's a thing. So that was about everything they covered in that live stream. Later this week, Blizzard did an AMA with some content creators. And I was not included. For fuck's sake. They further elaborated on everything we just talked about, but they also added that they're doing a complete rework of competitive and the rewards, but that stuff like Flex Queue and Priority Pass will be moved along to Overwatch 2, and that they hope to do an update every single month, but they can't make any promises. Come on! Well, if it happens and they start doing these updates once a month, I'll be here to tell you about it. And on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. The next thing is actually that developer AMA they're doing on the Overwatch subreddit tomorrow, so I'll keep you guys posted. Before I go, I'm giving away 24 anniversary loot boxes over on the Omnic post. I'll leave a link in the description below. But for now, that was it. Give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and come say hi during one of my Twitch streams. I never get that angry on stream, I swear. All of the links are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye. Why don't they ever invite me? I'm a nice guy. I just yell a lot.